Hi! And yes, as you have heard, this video will be in English. This video is specifically made for my foreign friends who watched my older videos even they don't understand any word of them. So this is specific for you guys! And of course, I'm going to talk about my lovely city, Gaziantep. And a bit of warning, there will be a lot of food in this video. I'm just telling this because Turkish people got really angry with me when I post food photos. So this is the warning. You have been warned. Let's start with a bit of history. Gaziantep is the city where people are living there for more than 10,000 years. And throughout these years, many emperors ruled the city. The ones that you might know are the Hittites, Romans, Byzantines, Ottomans. And thanks to the Silk Road, it had been one of the most crowded cities in the world for a really long time. When you visit Gaziantep, there are two popular archaeological sites that you can visit. One is Yasemek. Yasemek was the sculpture workshop of the Hittites. It was like a school actually to teach, create sculptures, and there are hundreds of them there waiting for you to visit them. And actually I visited there when I was a child, and I'm going to show a picture of mine with one of the sculptures there. Yes, I mean, I said food, right? This is what happens, you have the amazing... Okay, you saw it, you can take a screenshot. And I was a fat kid, okay, I'm always telling you, I was like a ball, has that two lines on it as eyes. That is me. I like being me. And it was expected with all of this food. Back to our topic. Let's turn back to Islamic. It's amazing how people were paying attention to arts and science those days. 2000 years ago, just for to make sculptures there. Nowadays, it's not important at all, as it was for those times. It just makes me wonder sometimes. Switch to the other archaeological side, Zeugma, which I like a lot. The city was founded by a Syrian king 300 years before Christ, on the narrow side of the Euphrates River. This is why when Romans took over the city in the 1st century, they named it as Zeugma, which meant bridge. Those times, 80,000 people were living in Zeugma. It was 3 times more than Pompeii on those times. Just for you to make some comparison. Today, 428,000 people are living in Zurich, which is only 5 times more than the number of people who were living in Zeugma 20 centuries ago. It's so crowded. Today, more than 2 million people are living in Gaziantep, which is 5 times more than the population of Zurich today. So yeah, it's a big city. Maybe you weren't expecting this, because many people from Western Turkey also got surprised when they figure out how big Gaziantep is. But it is the way it is, and always been like this. Alright, back to the Zeugma. What makes it very specific is its mosaics. The mosaics were actually like a floor pattern for their villas. There are really incredible mosaics in the side. It's so amazing how they show the perspective information in those mosaics with that tiny little naturally colored stones. Those times, like 1,000 years before the Renaissance. And the symbol of Zeugma, and also Gaziantep right now, is the Gypsy girl mosaic. She is a part of a large mosaic on the dining room of one of the villas. She was found under a column. With her hands carved, hairs and big eyes, she just looks gorgeous. And like Mona Lisa, she seems like she's always watching you. Now you can see her everywhere in Gaziantep. And also, fun fact, I just tried to look like her in my YouTube channel photo with a bit of Japanese touch. You can visit the Gypsy Girl mosaic and all other gorgeous stuff in the biggest mosaic museum in the world in Gaziantep. Now let's get closer to the 20th century.
First World War, the name of the city was only Antep. After the war, it became Gaziantep. Gazi means veteran. During the war, the civilians had to fight against French soldiers. At the end of the war, more than the half of the city was killed. So therefore, Atatürk decided to give this title to our lovely city, Gaziantep. And what you see in the background is the castle of Gaziantep. It had built 2,000 years ago. There's a little story behind this castle. This castle is kind of a round castle. It's maybe sometimes called as the ring castle. When the people living in this area decided to build this castle, they started to build it. But after a while, they didn't have enough sources to complete the castle. This rich lady saw this castle and got really sad about it's not being completed. So she sold her ring for it to be built fully. And that's why it has the shape of the ring, as old people say. But my grandmother was telling me that there was a corridor inside the castle which they go whenever they are sick and they cough there and they get their health back. Nowadays this castle is used as a panoramic war museum and it's a really lovely museum to visit.
And around the castle, there are many places for you to visit. Very authentic places, a lot of museums. Like the pedestrians, the old shopping malls, old hostels. Turkish bath museum, which was actually an active bath, like hammam, where my grandmother used to go. And actually there's a Turkish bath, like a hammam working still. You can go and have a Turkish bath experience if you just want to. There's this war museum explaining the details of the war that I talked about. It will give a detailed story of the things happened there. The toy museum, a money museum, an ethnography museum, a panorama museum, and this gallery which I donated my toys. You can see them when you get there. And the kitchen museum, where you can learn details about the food in Gaziantep. And speaking of which, we came to the part of the video that we will gain weight while watching. Gaziantep is the city of the gastronomy. This title is given by UNESCO, so I guess this is the proof of how quality food we have there. I know I've been mentioning this like 1,000 times, but I will never stop. The food there is just amazing. Just amazing. Now I will briefly describe the food that I will see on the screen, and I will try to do this really quickly. So get ready, and here we go. This is katmer, a sweet we eat for the breakfast, of course with delicious pistachios. Zahter, more common in neighboring city Kilis. which was actually a part of Gaziantep before. It's basically a spice put on the top of bread with oil. Again, for breakfast. And you see now the kitchen arts center where you can eat many of the traditional food there, and the menu changes weekly, so just check before you go. Tarhın Antep böreği, Antep cheese on a dough with tarragon, yuvarlama with boiled içli köfte. It's actually two different dishes. Yuvarlama is a very traditional, special meal that we do on bayrams. It's like meatballs, but it's not actually meatballs on a yogurt kind of liquid. But it's so tasty, and with this boiled içli köfte it becomes more tasty. Here, içli ufak köfte, it's like yuvarlama, but it's completely different. It's kind of sour. It's also delicious, and this is içli ufak köfte with boiled içli köfte. It's like the same as before with yuvarlama. These are mezes, like appetizers, but I'm not going to describe all of them because it will take a long time. And this is lahmacun. I mean, I cannot describe it with words. Sorry. Simit kebabı. It's a confusing one. It's not the simit that you would know from Turkey. We call let's say, smaller version of the bulgur as simit, and you need to mix it with meat to make this kebab. And here is beyti. It's mincemeat kebab rolled in a flat bread. Actually, you can call it like a sushi kebab. Kapamalı filik pilav, different kind of rice, meat on top. Dolma, rice topped vegetables, also with the meat inside. Alenazik, it's eggplants in yogurt and mincemeat on top. Again, meat. Kuşbaşı kebab, it's lamb meat, and it's so delicious. I really missed it. It's so amazing. I'm getting hungry. But let's continue. Now we're special kebabs that are really known in Gaziantep. Patlıcan kebabı, it's mincemeat kebab with eggplants. People from Gaziantep just love this. And this is küşleme. Küşleme is coming from a specific part of the lamb. It's on their back, and it's only like 100 grams per animal, and it's so soft and delicious, so that you just put a bit of salt, cook it, and it's just perfect. So tasty. Best meal of your life. And now baklava. When you say green to a person from Gaziantep, they will not think about trees or grass. It's the pistachio green that we know. And I mean, do I need to describe baklava? I think I don't need to. There are more food you can check online, but now that's enough for me. Just somebody throw lahmacun, katmer, kebab, please, please. I'm definitely so full after eating all of these food. This is the feeling you should feel every after restaurant in Gaziantep. You will eat until there is no empty space left in your body. Basically, you will be full of food. That's what you should do here. There are many other things, but I guess this is enough for this video. I hope this was enough for you to get organized for your trip to Gaziantep. By the way, there are direct flights from Zurich to Gaziantep. Just let you to know about that. And this is the end of the video. Thanks for watching. It has been fun for me and hope for you too. And see you soon. Love you guys all. Bye.